All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Horse Track. I am Horse Lover Fat, coming to you live from the Place Your Trade Network, which hosts daily podcasts where we trade our yes or no picks for event contracts live on the air. And Horse was a beast last week. I think 7 out of the 8 of my picks were correct. We're going to see if we can repeat that performance today. If you want to see all of our hot picks and get a chance to win weekly cash and prizes, go to placeyourtrades.com, where you'll sign up to get a free trade from our sponsor, Tradeovate. In order to claim your free trade, you must open your Tradeovate account on placeyourtrades.com. That part's important. I reiterated it last week. I just want to make sure everyone understands. Go to placeyourtrades.com, sign up through there, and get your free trade from Tradeovate. We're going to be talking again about the event contracts, which we're all excited about and trading regularly. They are a $20 notionally value option, essentially a binary option. On 10 of the most liquid futures markets. So there's usually 8 or 9 strike prices, 4 above, 4 below. And all of these open at 5 p.m. They close at the settlement time for that specific market. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of a refresh on what we're going to be talking about. All the quotes are in dollars. They're in 25-cent increments, not ticks, which is actually kind of cool. So your maximum gain on these contracts is $20 if you hold it to settlement. But the good thing is you can sell if you're up. I had an absolute banger trade that I was really excited about today on ES. I was violently trying to buy all the no contracts for $37.50 back when we were trading up around 3,800 today on the S&P 500. Turns out it's a little less liquid up there when you're buying out of the money, but I still pulled off a decent trade and got out of that for a profit. So I've been having fun myself experimenting with these things, learning how they trade, understanding the spreads, the volatility, the market. We're going to talk a little bit more about them and our trades as we get into the show. But without further ado, I want to bring in my co-host, my partner in crime, Shark. Let's bring in Mayhem. Mayhem.
Hey.
Buddy, welcome back.
Thanks so much, Horse. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
We had so much fun last week. I just wanted to do it again. I will say I am significantly more sober this week than I was last week. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I had a lot of fun. So I was like, you know what? Let's do this again. Let's chat. Mayhem knows markets. We had a really good week of picks. So I want to get into that. And before I do, I think let's spend a couple minutes talking about headlines. Just a couple minutes, because there was some big news in the FinTwit world, the financial world, that I wanted to cover just a few of these headlines. So from today, the big news today, obviously, Elon Musk is officially buying Twitter for $44 billion, making that the second worst purchase of the day after all of those no event contracts I bought on the Russell 2000. Cheers, salute. I tip my glass to you. I am drinking a big hearty stout as we speak. I tip my glass to the Orderful Labs guys this morning. Their show, The Opening Print, if you caught that, was excellent, and they were bullish. Russell, we've had a fun little feud going on, and those guys made an excellent trade. So congrats, fellas. You beat me on the Russell. But yeah. Go ahead and clap. I see Flurry in the chat laughing already. However, after the news about Elon and Twitter, shares of the SPAC Truth Social slid today on the news that Elon is buying Twitter. And also because it's a SPAC. So there's that for you. Other big news I saw today, I don't know if you caught this headline, Tom Brady and Giselle have officially hired divorce lawyers, proving that buying Bitcoin at the top not only ruins your finances, but your marriage as well. Rumors have it Tom asked his lawyers if they were, quote, down with doggy coin. Do you think he's a bit strapped at this point? He was literally buying the top. He laser-eyed the top of that market.
Yeah, he really did.
Another headline that really caught my attention today, members of the European Parliament overwhelmingly voted to force Apple and other companies to use a standard USB-C charger on their products. No more switching it up on consumers. I think I can speak for all of us when I say it's comforting to see the European Parliament focused on what's the most pressing and serious matters at hand. are right now. But I will say this, though. In a stunning response, Apple actually agreed, stating that the term lightning cable was scary to their child labor workforce.
Oh my God, why?
Sorry, I couldn't resist, man. I couldn't resist getting a couple jokes. Those are your headlines for the day from the world of finance and entertainment. Now, let's make our picks. Let's get into it, Mayhem. Shark, let's make some picks. All right, here we have the horse track stats up on the screen, and I added a little something different from last week here, Mayhem. We have the last 5 closes for each one of these markets that you can trade the event contracts on. I added whether or not it's above the RSI, just as sort of another gauge of momentum, above 50, the halfway point, right? So we have the last 5 closes, whether or not we're above the 50 daily moving average or not, or above the 50 on the RSI, just to give us a sense of momentum. And the first thing I notice here is there's a lot more green this week than there was last time we spoke. Now, if you remember last week, I think what was most impressive about our picks is that the market was literally in a bloodbath. And you and I took a lot of counter trend picks. In fact, almost all of them we took the yeses on. I was correct on 7 out of 8 of them. The only one I was wrong on was the Russell 2000, and that's because I chose it out of spite.
Yeah,
Because I always short the Russell. So if I hadn't have done that, I would have had a perfect track record for week 1 on Place Your Trades, which is pretty impressive, to be honest.
I gotta say though, like your hate for the Russell is now getting to a point where it's soiling your track record. It's having a tangible impact.
I hope everyone knows it's more comedy than anything. I do think it's an absolute dog of an index, but the reality is if the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq are bid, the Russell's going to be bid too. It's just it follows along algorithmically. I can't even say that word. It's probably all the booze I've had so far. But anyways, the point is we're going to make some new picks this week, and things are a little bit different. We have some green closes in here. We have some things showing strength. So let's start with the S&P 500. The last couple closes, this stat chart doesn't do it justice. Not only were they green, they were really green. In fact, that was one of the biggest 2-day moves we've seen in a very long time. So we're experiencing a bit of a bear market rally here, still underneath the 50 daily moving average. RSI still not quite to the halfway point. So momentum is still basically down for the index as a whole. The trend is down. However, we are getting dangerously close to that key 20-day moving average, which is hiding right up around 3830, which is my next stop, what I'm eyeballing to the upside. I do think there's a chance, personally, that the bulls aren't quite done. So when I'm pulling up my Place Your Trades app here through the Trade app, and I'm looking at the ES 3800. I might regret saying this because I do think we went pretty far pretty fast, and there's still a lot of risk out there, but I'm going to take the yes on the 3800, and I'll tell you why. If you watch intraday very closely, trading futures like we do at our Trader 8 Discord, you would have noticed that an incredible iceberg at 37.95 on ES. Over 16,000 positive delta. They were cramming into that level. To me, it doesn't really, like who was doing what doesn't matter. What matters to me is that level's likely to be a magnet. It's a very, very large level of engagement for institutional participants, and I'd be surprised if we drift far away from it so quickly. I could be completely wrong about that, but given that that's only 5 points below the ES 3800 contract, I'm going to take the yes, but here's the kicker. I'm going to sell them if they push tomorrow up to that 3830. That's the level I'm looking for to sort of cap the wildness in tomorrow's trading if we get more bullish action, 3830. So I'm going to take the yes, selling them probably prematurely. I'd like to buy them tonight in Globex if we get a pullback, which it looks like we're getting right now. I think it's a better deal to buy the 3800s then. I think the market has a chance, honestly, a full one retrace from a Fibonacci perspective from last week's trading range gives us that 38.2950. So to me, I got to go with the recent momentum here, Mayhem. Even though the trend is still down, I'm going to take the yes on S&P 500. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm in a similar position here. I think that this bear market rally is got some legs. I still think it's a bear market, but I think we can move higher from here, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get some continuation into tomorrow. So, we saw a number of things that were happening that were getting to extremes. It was an article I wrote about over the weekend for our Trader Aid members, talking about that. I thought there was a short-term pop in order because sentiment, positioning, breadth, a lot of different things were getting to extreme levels that we hadn't seen since the COVID crash or the great financial crisis. So I'm in the camp that there's still some room to move higher. We're still not overbought even after those two pretty big days up. So I still think that just from everything we've seen and how exhausted to the downside things got, that there's still some room to move higher here in the S&P 500. So yes, for above 3,800 tomorrow. I would probably be a little bit more bullish on my price target, where I'd be selling my contracts probably closer to 3,850 if we got there. But that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, basically for me and I posted this on my market prep on Sunday on Trader Aid. As long as we're above 3750, I'm a buyer. I think that is the key pivot level for the market right now. Above 3750 and ES, I'm definitely maintaining a bullish view. So I'm taking the yes there as well. NQ, sort of similar. I mean, basically they trade very, very closely throughout the day due to the waiting, the overlap and waiting for both. NQ right now is 11,600 is the strike we're looking at. I would obviously take the yes there as well for the same reasons as we talked about with ES. I'm assuming you do the same on NQ.
Yes, I would. Exactly the same thing. And we're futures are at 11,600 right now, so we're not even asking much to say yes for tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we can get better prices. If we let this drop a little bit here in the overnight, but I'm still looking at the yes. Shark, you could take it back out to our images if you want here. We just wanted to review the stats. Let's chat together. We'll go over the rest of them because I think some of these other ones will get a little bit interesting. The big theme right now for me is the dollar, the US dollar. I think it's influencing a lot of things in other markets right now. However, we got to talk about gold, right? That is a major inverse correlation between the DXY and gold. Gold's been bid the last couple days, as we saw from the stats. The strike right now is 1730. Personally, I again could be completely wrong about this. I'm going to take the no on gold because gold is trash, and I would not be surprised to see the dollar sort of chill out a little bit. If you look at gold, the RSI boomed. It is right at the 50 daily moving average now. So it's sort of rejected it earlier in the day. I'm counting on it doing it again because gold is just a dog. So I'm going to take the no on the 1730 for gold. What do you think about gold?
I think I'm going to take the yes on the 1730 because I think that one of the themes for tomorrow doing what we're looking for in some of these other assets is probably a weaker dollar, at least a flat dollar, and definitely lower rates are going to be important. In that kind of environment, gold should catch enough of a bid. I mean, it's at 1734 here after hours that it could be above 1730 tomorrow. So I'll take the yes on that.
Oh, we disagree. Okay, I'm going to smash it.
Right.
Gold. Nothing lets me down more than gold. That's why I'm going with the nose here because I've been burned so much in the past. It's had a great run, but I think it's going to reject that 50 daily moving average and pull back just a little bit. That's my pick for gold. The next market I want to move to is oil. I'm not going to go through all of them tonight. I don't have a Russell 2000 picks, and I know you guys are all waiting for that. I'm not just stick with ES and NQ, but I will do oil. The strike on oil is 86. And oil, to me, has made a pretty strong move these last few days. The lows don't look that great, to be honest. However, it's approaching trend line support. If you go back, I mean, you can't see it visually, but there's a major trend line where it basically closed at today. I do think if it pushes above, I'm bullish gold till 90. So I'm going to take the yes on oil. I'm sorry, oil. Yep, sorry. I'm going to take the yes on oil at 86 because I'm bullish until 90. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm still constructive on oil here as well. I think that, what happens with supply here being somewhat constrained and inelastic and a lot of potential for any moving piece to disrupt supply to spike prices is one thing we have in the background. But the other is a really illiquid market. So anytime buyers come in, it really does move price quite a bit. I think there's plenty of reasons to still want to be buying oil short term. So I'm with you for yes tomorrow.
Yeah, I like it. Cool. We agree on one. That's fun. Let's do
It
nat
is.
gas. The strike at nat gas is the same thing as it was last week at 6.8. However, my pick's going to be a little bit different. I was contrarian last week and took the bounce. I'm taking the no on natural gas this time. The lows look really gross to me down there at 6.57. I don't know that those are going to hold. If you look, there's a little bit of a disconnect between, say, the RSI and the actual price. This thing has just been battered down. I'm looking for that to happen again. I think it's at the top of a channel. If you look at from a support and resistance perspective, I think natural gas is at the top. Now, there's a lot of catalysts that we discussed last week that should drive natural gas up. However, Horse is going to play the contrarian. I'm going to take the no on 6.8 for tomorrow, but I'm not going to buy them now because gold is getting bid up. I'd like to see if they can bid this thing up to 7 before I buy those no's, because I think I'd get a better price on the event contract. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm a no on this one for 6.5 or 6.8 tomorrow as well. I mean, the chart is just absolutely terrible.
It
So I
is. I
think
mean,
there's some.
it's a downtrend, right? Like it's
Yeah.
hard. We're trend traders. It's in a downtrend. There's a lot of reasons for natural gas to get bid. I do think though, if you really want to get technical from a technical analysis perspective, the 200-day moving average is looming below it, and it never touched it. On that last sell-off, it never touched it. I think it's destined to absolutely blast and test that thing. So I'm taking the nose on nat gas until it hits that 200-day moving average.
Yeah.
Now, the one last week that I think was the most impressive was my call on the market that I don't trade, which is the Euro USD. I took a contrarian play and I was correct. And the coin flip, remember, I'm trying to see if I'm better than random because this is a market that I don't trade. I don't trade Forex. It's just not something that I'm into. I have mad respect for everyone that does. I understand its importance, just not my market. So I'm going to play the event contracts on this because I like the fact that it gives me some exposure to a market that's new to me and it limits my risk. But I want to see if I can be better than random. Okay. So the current strike right now we're looking at for the Euro USD is 1.00250. That's a lot of numbers. I don't know how you Forex traders remember all that stuff. That is the current strike. Okay. And I'm going to take the yes again before I flip the coin to see what the random result is. I'm taking the yes. And the reason why is I think there's a big resistance area. If I look at the chart from a daily perspective, up at 1.01. 1.012. There's some resistance that I think this thing could test. It's sitting right now, like as we speak, on the 50 daily moving average, and it has rejected it. Let me see, the last basically 1 million times it's tested it. It just continues to reject. But you get these wiki rejections, like the buyers push through it before it turns around. So since we're talking about 24 hours, I'm going to take the yes, counting on it doing the same thing tomorrow, pushing up there to that resistance zone to see if the sellers step back in. Also, obviously, this is that DXY trade that we've been talking about, right? The dollar's softening a little bit. So I'm going to take the euro yes on this one. And let me flip the coin before I get your pick here. So Horse took yes. All right. Heads, yes for the coin. Tails, no. Coin says no. Coin says no again. I got a tails again. So Horse is taking the yes on the Euro USD and the coin is taking no. Once again, we'll see who's right. Am I better than random? What are your thoughts on the Euro USD, Mayhem?
I'm going to take the yes on it. I think that the euro can go a little bit further up, the dollar can go a little bit further down before they both regroup. But yeah, there is this established pattern similar on the dollar index. You can see it's a pretty established uptrend. It has a low that it seems very destined to test. It's just right above it on that lower trend line. So I think we get a little bounce on that. God forbid we do technical analysis on the dollar. And, we're just not quite down at that level yet. So I think the euro can run just a little bit more. So
All right. I like that. Cool. We're in agreement on almost all of them. The only one we didn't talk about that I think is actually technically the strongest from a technical analysis perspective would be silver. But I'll tell you what, I went into that Reddit silver squeeze forum and I was so horrified. Like I could smell the BO and virginity through my cell phone. I had to run out of that place as fast as I could. So I was like, okay, I'm staying away from silver. These guys are freaks. However, silver is actually the strongest one on our stat chart. It's above the 50-day. RSI is way up there. It's actually moving very, very strong, which is exactly when silver absolutely destroys you. So
Yes,
if I was
Every
to
time.
throw in one more pick, I would probably take the no on silver just because it's silver. And the
Why are
RSI
you
is
doing this?
almost in the oversold territory. So this
Now
is
they're
like a
all going to
bonus
attack.
pick.
Now they're all going to attack us, Horse. This is great. Now all the silver people are going to come out of the works and just.
Silver squeeze. You know what? But if I'm taking the no on gold, I got to take the no on silver. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's my thoughts on that. Somebody asked in the chat, can you guys put your charts up as a visual while we're looking at them? We're trying to keep this simple and fun and lighthearted. If you're into charting and our actual technical analysis in a very serious way, please check out the work we do at traderaid.com. I do a lot of technical analysis there. Mayhem does a lot of great macro analysis, and Aisha provides tons of awesome fundamental analysis. We do serious stuff there. This is our one chance a week for Mayhem and I to not be serious. So no, we don't have charts on the screen. We're just chatting about what we're looking at. Yeah, the stripper pole behind me is a good reference. Somebody said in the chat for how not serious this show is here. We like to make it rain on the Place Your Trades podcast here. So yes, I get lots of funny comments on my background, but those are our picks for the week. We were 7 of 8 for last week. Let's see what we can do tomorrow. Before we round this conversation out, though, we got to do some contests and give some things away here on the Place Your Trade podcast. So, Shark, can you pull up the winner from last week's Caption This Photo contest, who's going to get some free Trader Aid swag? There it is, Dave. Congratulations, Dave. If you are watching this, shoot me a DM. Gotta love that. Love the clap. Dave, it's at MULSCO. There was a lot of people that didn't provide a caption to the photo that they actually like edited the picture, and lots of them like this. However, I was fair and went off the most likes and the one that made me laugh. So this was kind of the best of both worlds. Dave actually got the most likes per follower ratio. All right, there's some big names that came in there, get a bunch of likes for whatever they say. Dave did something really funny and actually got the most likes out of anybody. So congratulations, Dave. You win. Janet Yellen reading An Idiot's Guide to Finance and Accounting absolutely cracked me up. Well played, sir. Shoot me a DM on Twitter to claim your Trader Aid swag. So now we're going to do a little bit of a different contest. Actually, we're going to do 2 of them coming into next week. So Shark, let's go back to Mayhem and I want to tee up these next couple contests here because we got a very generous offer at the last minute from Order Flow Labs, and we want to take advantage of that. So this week, we're going to do 2 contests, all right? And these are for the people that are actually here listening. Really appreciate you being a part of this. Tell your friends. We do this show every Tuesday. We try to have fun with it and talk about what we're seeing in the markets. Spread the word here. Let people know. We're giving away swag, we're giving away free stuff, and we're having a good time. So this week's contest, I'm going to put out a tweet right now. Where will the S&P 500 futures, ES, the front contract, close on Friday? All right, so I'm tweeting this now. This is the first contest. Please see the tweet. You can go to @Michigandolph. I know that Mayhem will likely retweet that, probably Place Your Trades as well. But you need to follow Place Your Trades on Twitter. It's @Place Your Trades, and give us your guess in the comments. All guesses must be in tomorrow by noon. I'm going to lock the comments after that to see who can guess the close for Friday. We're going to give you a free month of Trader Aid Plus to see what we do if you're interested in more serious technical analysis, or if you want to trade with us in Discord for free. We're going to be giving you a month of that to check it out for yourself. If you can be the closest person to guess the close on the S&P 500 and follow Place Your Trades on Twitter. Now, just for fun, I want to do a second contest, Mayhem, because the Order Flow Labs guys, super good dudes. I really love their market tools. Their show, The Opening Print, is great every Tuesday morning. They offered to give a free month of their service as well. So I want to give this away, but I think this one will be a little bit funnier. Where will the Russell 2000 close on Friday? An answer of 0 is acceptable. It is acceptable. You can play if you want. You can play this like Price is Right and take 0 or 1 penny. However, I'm going to post this tweet out right now. This is contest number 2, courtesy of the team at Order Flow Labs. They're going to give you a free month as well. All guesses must be in tomorrow before noon, and you have to follow Place Your Trades and Order Flow Labs to win. Put in your guess for Friday. Where does the Russell 2000 close? Everyone's least favorite index. Those are our 2 contests this week. We appreciate everyone being here and listening to our picks, hanging out with us on a Tuesday night, talking about markets. Final words, Mr. Mayhem. What's on your mind going forward?
It's going to be an interesting week. I think we still have some room to the upside, like we talked about, and still in a bear market overall, as you mentioned. So just kind of keeping those themes in the back of my head. We don't have any auctions from the Treasury, so there's no real threat to duration, at least from that perspective. And I think that's one of the reasons we're bullish, in addition to the extremes we saw. So just keeping pace with all the macro and the litany of Fed speakers. They should get their own reality show, because they're pretty much out there every 3 seconds.
14. I counted 14 Fed speeches this week. It's like they want to bring the market to 0 with all their flapping. Now, one last question. Do you think we should be concerned about non-manufacturing PMI data tomorrow? I think that's at 10 o'clock. Is that something that's on your radar?
It is. I think we should definitely watch it. Any deviations too much from the forecast are going to have an impact on the market. I mean, this is definitely a market that is looking at this data for clues as to what the Fed might do. And before earnings season, the best thing the market can focus on, even sort of to the point where it's almost myopically, is these sort of macro data releases. And this is a pretty important one. This is non-manufacturing PMI. So it's showing what the services industry is really up to. And I think, if we get something that's really softer than expected, especially if we get closer to that contraction level below 50, that's going to indicate that, maybe this narrative of the Fed pivot, which is illusory, but it's a popular narrative, whether it's real or not, that would give it a little more momentum. Maybe we get a bid on that. Maybe rates go down a bit on that, right? On the other side of it, if we get a hotter reading that the industry is doing really well and, everything's just fine and we're expanding, then I think we'd get the opposite. We'd probably get some selling, and something in line probably wouldn't be too much of a catalyst one way or the other. But the path of least resistance might be higher in the short term for voting any really hot number.
Yeah, I'm with you. As long as we're above 3750 on ES, I will maintain bullish for this potential bear market rally. Like to see this continue up a little bit further before we get a better chance to sell this market down. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight on the Place Your Trades podcast. We'll be here every Tuesday night talking about our picks on the event contracts. Please make sure to follow Place Your Trades on Twitter. Also, don't forget to go to placeyourtrades.com to sign up with your account and Tradeovate through them to get your free trade. I can honestly tell you, I've just started trading these things and I'm actually having a lot of fun. I am learning how the market works, how it moves, what the liquidity's like. I do think there's some really fun practical applications for these new event contracts that we've been talking about. And I'm looking forward to continue to explore those with all of you here on the Horse Track. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We will see you all next week.